Hello everyone, welcome to Cheongfuli Weekly Report. We bring you the latest price and market analysis of China's steel market every week. Spot prices fell sharply this week. To date, rebar spot prices have dropped by 50 yuan per ton week on week, and hot-rolled coil spot prices have also declined by 50 yuan per ton. Prices have fluctuated recently, market trading sentiment is volatile, yet overall activity remains sluggish. From a macro perspective, the Fed kept policy rates unchanged at the July FOMC meeting. Chair Warsh delivered hawkish remarks during the post-meeting press conference, prompting markets to reprice rate hike expectations and pressuring commodities broadly lower. Over the weekend, Trump publicly stated he would cancel the planned military strike upon request from Iran and other Middle Eastern nations. Domestically, this week's Politburo meeting outlined the policy tone for the second half of the year, though no over-expansionary stimulus measures were unveiled. On the supply side, total output edged down. Total output of the 5 major steel products stood at 8.183 million tons this week, falling 191,300 tons week on week. Meanwhile, molten iron production continued to decline. By product, rebar output fell to 2.0031 million tons, down 11,300 tons week on week. Hot-rolled coil output rose to 2.9266 million tons, up 93,600 tons week on week. Demand weakened week on week. Apparent consumption of steel reached 8.1189 million tons, a fall of 121,900 tons week on week. Breakdown: apparent rebar consumption was 1.9894 million tons, rising 27,200 tons week on week. Apparent hot-rolled coil consumption was 2.8722 million tons, dropping 120,200 tons week on week. Demand softened this week. Against the seasonal low demand backdrop, market sentiment toward the outlook remains relatively pessimistic, with muted speculative buying interest. In terms of inventories, total stocks of the 5 major steel products rose slightly this week, reaching 16.3582 million tons, up 64,100 tons week on week. By product, rebar inventory stood at 6.9907 million tons, rising 13,700 tons week on week. Hot-rolled coil inventories reached 4.4399 million tons, up 54,400 tons week on week. Overall, China's steel market weakened across the board this week. The sector saw lower supply, softer demand, and mild inventory accumulation, with largely stable fundamentals versus last week. We are now in the traditional low-demand season. Construction work at end-user projects has slowed, downstream purchasing appetite is weak, and incremental demand remains limited. On the supply side, molten iron output is steadily declining, easing steel supply-demand pressure, though it has not yet reversed inventory accumulation. On the cost side, the resumption of a coal mine in Qingyuan, Shanxi, has reinforced market expectations of further domestic coal mine restarts, weakening cost support for steel. Market participants hold cautious, pessimistic views on the outlook. Steel prices are likely to stay range-bound and weak in the near term. Going forward, we will closely monitor US-Iran geopolitical tensions, track shifts in steel supply and demand, and follow the pace of coal mine restarts. Based on the above analysis, the operational suggestion is to adopt a demand-based procurement strategy and strictly control inventory risks. Institutional analysts hold the view that recently weaker-than-expected macro policies have dominated market sentiment. The steel market is currently in its traditional off-season, and faltering demand will continue to weigh on steel prices. While steel output keeps declining at present, iron molten output is expected to resume production in August. A rapid restart would exacerbate downstream inventory pressure. Going forward, focus should be placed on shifts in supply-demand balance and the progress of coal mine resumption. Steel prices are projected to remain range-bound in the short term. In summary, steel prices will generally maintain a volatile trend. Close attention should be paid to changes in steel inventories, domestic macro policies, and the supply of coking coal. Okay, feel free to leave your thoughts, questions, or any related inquiries in the comment box below. And if you found this video valuable, don't forget to follow us for more updates. See you next week.